One tinfoil hat. Second one, aliens.
Okay, where are the aliens coming from?
The aliens came down to Earth and they went under the water and they found the Titanic. They were like, hey, this is cool. We're going to make this. We're going to do it again. And we're going to create this experiment so that we can understand humans. It's going to be great. Other theory.
Christian, have you seen the chat?
I have not.
This is Austin. It's just, I'm gonna have to put it in the video, but Austin is just putting this as a reaction. It's just cute things.
Oh my word, that's hilarious.
Welcome, friends. Today, we're going to seek a way out of this mystery game. But you're not going to seek a way out of this podcast. I'm Dalin Malna, here today with Austin.
Hello there.
And Christian.
Hello.
I never know what I'm going to get out of you with that. I'm always...
Neither do I. It just comes out.
So,
there is no thought behind it before you say "and Christian." It's just like the first thing that comes out of my mouth.
Mind blank. Only hello. Well, yeah, today, I mean, this episode should basically be called, Dalin bullies his buddies into playing a visual novel, because that's kind of like, I feel like, what has happened. But yeah, we're talking about 999. I think, oh gosh, is this so obscure people don't know what that is, now that I'm thinking on it? It's a visual novel made by Uchikoshi, who is best known lately for kind of AI the Somnium Files. He worked on the 1,000-line defense or whatever that game was called with Kodaka, the guy that made Danganronpa. Visual novel fans know who this guy is, but probably other people don't. And you guys didn't know who he was or what this was beforehand. So I'm going to ask you, as we start off this thing, Christian, in 9 words, what are your impressions so far of 999, of which we have finished one route, I should clarify. That's how far we've gotten. We haven't gotten to the true ending yet.
Okay, I haven't started my 9 words yet. Just
okay, I haven't started.
No, it hasn't started yet. No.
I think those are your 9 words. I think that's okay. I haven't started my 9 words yet. That's only 8.
I can say with absolute certainty, don't like Lotus.
That was not what I was expecting.
I realized I needed one more word, so I skipped I. So just don't like Lotus.
That's fun. Okay. Austin?
This game is a visual novel with fun puzzles.
That's good! Hey! That's nice! Is it fun? I guess we'll get into that in a second. I'm going to say, great mystery, interesting characters, made me pull all-nighter. Originally. I'm replaying it now, so not, but that was my impressions, my first play in this game. I was hooked right off the bat. I actually started playing this game because I was like, I'm a little homeschool boy. I'm a little angelic homeschool boy. So I didn't play naughty M-rated games, but I turned 18 and went, I should play some M-rated games and not just play child games, because I am literally an adult now. And so I started looking up, what are good M-rated games? And this popped up, and so I started playing. What were you saying, Austin?
It's funny that you say that, because I was a homeschooled kid who played M-rated games with my dad.
Yeah, well, I was raised in the Pentecostal kind of, the demons will get you if you play Pokemon or things like that, so you better believe,
The same household also said Harry Potter was evil, so...
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Pick your poison.
Parents are weird, man. I say that as one. I'm so excited for what my son is going to be like. Will you believe my dad thought, I don't know, what do I think? Something insane. He's going to be like, Dad thought that, eating from a gas stove would give you cancer. Parents are crazy. I don't know, They didn't know that lollipops were the leading cause of Alzheimer's. Can you believe it? Like, well, I don't know what's going to happen 20 years from now, but it'll be something like that for sure. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. In more than 9 words, do you have any, like, kind of, this is your first time, I think this is both y'all's first time really playing a visual novel, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and this is maybe not the most standard one. There's some extra gameplay going along. It's a little bit more maybe violent. I've always described this as like anime sci-fi Saw. That's how I've described this to people. Y'all diving into something that I think's way outside your wheelhouse. Christian, I have drugged you from the heights of Spyro to the depths of a Titanic submarine. How are you feeling now that you're here?
I've honestly enjoyed it so far. I think the puzzles are good. It's an interesting story. I'm still trying to. We'll get to all my crazy theories later, but I'm really interested to see how this story ends.
Okay, you're hooked. You may not like the ending, but are you currently hooked to the mystery at least? I guess.
Yeah, I'm hooked enough that I genuinely want to finish this game.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Austin, I think you've told me in our talks you may feel differently. I think you got to the ending of the first route and basically said, I'd have turned this off if it wasn't for the podcast, right?
Do we want to go there already?
Yeah, no, hit me. This is like the...
So, my thoughts of this game. To start off, getting into this game, I started getting really into it. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the kind of... They had a little bit of a gritty realism to it. Just kind of going through a boat and trying to survive death puzzles. Interacting with people. It wasn't like fantasy-ish or like really super sci-fi. There's some elements of like, the watches, bombs, and blah, blah, blah. But it still felt pretty grounded. And I really enjoyed how well written the grounded and the mystery was going. Until we reached the point where we started talking about how we have to go through this game, and then there's a certain path we're not allowed to follow because it will just say try again, because if you make all the right decisions, you can't win the game right away. And honestly, that pisses me off.
Yeah, y'all, for the audience at home, a lot of visual novels have like paths you can take. There's one path that's the true ending, but you can't make that your first ending. You have to see some other stuff first. And gosh darn it, without a guide, these two stumbled or logicked their way, I don't know which, directly towards basically the true ending. And we got there, and then I had to be like, okay, haha, very funny. Pick a different option. I basically put my finger on the scale and made y'all at the last door pick a different door, because if you get to the true ending before you're ready, it just goes, nope, try again. And so I was like, at least get a bad ending, like, so you don't waste your time, So
that ruined my immersion and enjoyment of the realistic setting. It shattered it. If I was playing by myself and I was making all these decisions and the game's like, whoops, you weren't supposed to be here, please try again, find other stuff, then I would not have played again. I'm still willing to, because I still want to see what the ending is. I still have some investment in that, but I am upset.
So that's interesting. So as a first impression to the visual novel genre, Christian's like, okay, there might be something here, and Austin, you're like, okay, this was a mistake. Back to the RPGs of the shooters. Or is that not quite true?
No, I enjoyed getting into a visual novel. I think they're great.
Have you played other visual novels? I thought this was your first one.
This is my first one that I've actually sat down and played to completion. I've dabbled in some. Not really too much. I mean, I think technically the first visual novel I played, but didn't complete it, and it's not because visual novels were boring, was Doki Doki Literature Club. I didn't hate playing it, I just played other stuff eventually and didn't finish it.
Doki Doki is intentionally a deconstruction of kind of the dating sim visual novel. It is fun, though.
It sounds like it's something right up my alley, but I just haven't gotten around to it, because, while I don't have anything against visual novels, I do tend to enjoy other genres more. But that's not me saying I dislike visual novels. I just have higher preferences.
Have you seen my groundbreaking review of Doki Doki Literature Club?
I think I have, in our early times of knowing each other. A long time ago.
It's one of my favorite things I've actually done. I'm quite proud of it. It's really stupid. Christian, this was your first visual novel, though, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I thought so. Are you like, yeah, I'd try another one of these.
I would try another one. I think. Are they all kind of like puzzly like this?
No, there's a wide range. There are some that are basically just books with choices. There are some that are books without choices. And then there are some that are like half books, half... A really famous one that I think is quite good, that maybe I should have started y'all on, frankly, honestly, is the Phoenix Wright trilogy. Is very famously kind of half visual novel. I guess it's like a third visual novel, a third kind of text adventure, like you're picking items game, and third really bizarre courtroom simulator. So some games have different gameplay, some don't, you know.
I'd be open to try another.
But like,
I don't think I would enjoy the one.
You want ones with gameplay attached to the novel part, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I would enjoy just like sitting in it and there being like no choice or like just dialogue. I would enjoy some meat with my potatoes.
Some game in your video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So, moving on from that, though, this is an interesting question I have for y'all. I think it's interesting. So, I want to talk to y'all about how you feel about the audio and visuals. And before you give your thing, I'm going to remind y'all and let the people know, I made y'all play the DS version. There is a version with upgraded audio and visuals, but for reasons y'all have just had to trust me, I have said don't play that. I think it ruins some things later that I can't even explain exactly what it ruins, but it makes some narrative and gameplay choices I think are degraded in the remake, and so I have bullied y'all into playing the DS version. So, for a DS game released in... Editor Dolan put the year here. What did y'all think about the audio visuals?
I thought the visuals were really good, especially for a DS game. I liked all of the art, the background, the backdrops were really good. Thought most of the characters looked really cool. Lotus is the exception. We could do without Lotus pretty easily. Speaking of the characters, some of my favorite character designs. I really liked Ace, Snake, and Clover design-wise. Mm-hmm. They're my favorites up there. I think besides Lotus of the weaker scale, I think probably 7 is my least favorite without disdain on it.
Is that just on his design or the character?
Just design. Just design. I said. Mm-hmm. I think he looks the worst without being atrocious like Lotus. But on the sound side of things, if we're going to talk about, like, say, music, I can't remember a single piece of music at all. It was very non-memorable to me.
That's insane to me. This is one of my favorite gaming soundtracks. Like, okay, mildly cheating. I got to say the series, because I kind of get mixed up. There are renditions of songs that are in later games, and I might be remembering. But, like, this is the game that started a lot of those thematic things, and this is like one that is just seared into my brain. I think the music is so memorable with kind of that dark industrial tone, with like really offbeat, like kind of techno intrusions into what's going on. It has such a distinct flavor that like I've never heard, I think, in another video game. It lives in my brain, so I'm shocked that you, the music guy, are like, I don't know, there was probably some beeps and boops somewhere.
I mean, yeah, I would say overall it's probably aggressively average because it doesn't... I can't remember anything, but that also means there was nothing bad that I remember being bad either.
Man.
It's just like, it was there, it served its purpose, everything else was more important. I struggle to even think of a single tune in the entire game.
Oh, man. Christian, save me. The music, right? The music.
I honestly thought the music was pretty good. Like, a majority of the game I played on fast forward just to like speed up the text, but I tried to, especially after you mentioned how much you love the music, I tried to, whenever I would have the volume on.
You could tell the sound had changed.
Yeah, whenever I noticed like it was a new song, I would take it off, fast forward, and just like listen for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I agree with you. I think it had a very distinct vibe. Not very. I haven't really heard something like that before. I can't pinpoint like this is the song that was really good, but I think overall the soundtrack was very well done. I mean, I enjoyed it.
So the music guy doesn't like it, and the two music guys think it's pretty okay. I think it does get points for me for just being different. Maybe more than, I couldn't tell you maybe if it's like very technically competent, but I kind of like you mentioned, and I had mentioned, Christian, I can't think of another game that has a soundtrack like it, and that's part of why it lives in my brain. So
it's neat.
It's neat.
I mean, neither can I, so.
I think it's very fun. Something it also does that I kind of love is the pseudo pre-rendered backgrounds. I mean, they are pre-rendered, but like they look basically kind of like those Resident Evil PS1, like not quite low poly, but a little bit low poly backgrounds. Like low high poly. I don't know how else to describe it. It doesn't quite look realistic, but it doesn't look. I don't know. I think that's fun.
It doesn't look cartoony.
Yeah, it's like the best way I can put it is like 90s CGI realism attempt, even though it was
like really bad old school camera took pictures around.
Yeah, but like it's got a distinct flair that I think is fun, probably just because I like those old pre-rendered backgrounds and it reminds me of that. But I don't know. It gives it another distinct charm, I feel like.
That was the main charm for me. I really liked the visuals.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, let's talk about that gameplay though, because there's the choices, and the choices are the choices, and that's really more narrative. But what about the puzzles? Are they're everything? The gameplay of this game is escape games. You're trapped on this boat with 9 people. You got 9 hours to get out. There are 9. You're trying to make it to the 9th door. And if any of you have done like an escape room, you know, like those are. This is basically that in digital form, and you have to solve a puzzle. And there's not an actual time limit like there are in those, but also I think the puzzles are probably a little bit trickier than they tend to be in those timed escape rooms. So, Austin, were they more on the frustrating side or the fun side? How would you compare them to other games we've played before?
On average, I would say the puzzles were more on the fun side. I think there was only one puzzle that I didn't care for. Right now, my mind is blanking on which one it was.
It was the prison room, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the prison room with the toilets and the sun and moon. That was the only puzzle I actually felt like I didn't have fun time with. And the best puzzle, I think, was doing the... I know it had like a bunch with all the elements involved, and he had to transpose the elements and the numbers to do the I think it was a briefcase combination. I loved that puzzle. That puzzle made me happy. Most of the puzzles were like, that was a decent time. And then I had one puzzle that was really fun, and only one puzzle where I'm like, that wasn't that great, but it wasn't like, I really hate this puzzle. It was just a little frustrating. So overall, I would give the puzzles probably like a 7 out of 10. It was a pretty good time. Almost trying to compare to other puzzles and games. I mean, the closest that I can try to think about might be Resident Evil puzzles, but I find a hard time trying to compare those two. But yeah, I don't really know. They're about equal in my mind. I like them just as much as I had fun with Resident Evil puzzles.
Nice. I like them quite a bit, I think, as well. I might rate them closer to an 8, but I am a bit of a escape game fanatic, so that probably gives it a bit of an extra point. I think the biggest hangups I get are your usual escape game problem, where it's like, my brain just didn't make that logic. I wish there was a bit of a hint button somewhere. I don't know how that would be implemented. Like, an ability to ask maybe another character, only if you wanted to. And then because at this point, I've got most of the answers somewhat memorized, so I'm not struggling, but I remember a lot of the times just being like, I've tapped everything in this room and I don't even know where to go next. And then my other big complaint is in the kitchen puzzle. I think I warned y'all about this, so hopefully y'all didn't have the same problems I did originally. But in the kitchen puzzle, if you have an item out, it takes up a very small part of your bottom left of your screen. But there's an essential note that explains what the puzzle even is, that is on the bottom left of the screen and is covered up if you have an item in your hand. And so you could just be walking around constantly and never be able to see it unless you take the item out of your hand, and there's nothing that there's nothing else like that. There's no reason you would know to do that. Except for I fell prey to that because I spent like hours looking for that like in real life and finally looked up a guide the first time I went through this just to even see what to do next. And it was like, click the note. I'm like, what note? And then got rid of the item. I was like, oh, that note. That's stupid. I think so. That's my one actual genuine flaw with the puzzles is like, that's an oversight. That's not just, oh, I was dumb. Like they should have fixed that. Presumably in the remake they did, but yeah. So I'd probably give them an 8 out of 10. I think they're quite fun. You get a little bit tap happy sometimes, but I never remember getting so frustrated that like it made me lose interest in the game. And I don't remember looking up a guide for most of any of them other than that one time. But I do wish that there was a hint button that if rather than going to a guide, I could still stay in the game and not risk spoiling myself on something. What do you think, Christian?
I liked the puzzles. I would say, thinking about through the puzzles, I did struggle in the kitchen room, but for a different reason.
Was it the cheese?
I remember I like messaged you about this. Because I was like, I know that I need this item, but I cannot for the life of me find it. And I didn't realize there was one of the like backdrops. There's a door over here, there's a door over here, and there's like a halfway wall partition in the middle.
Right.
And I thought, oh, there's a partition there. I cannot access anything on that side of the partition.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I can't I didn't even try to click that door because I was like, there's a partition there. I can't get over there. So I'm going around clicking everything else. And I'm messaging Dolan and I'm like, dude, what am I doing wrong? He's like, did you go through the second door? And I go, thank you. Like I was so frustrated because I thought about that door and I was like, oh, there's no way that little wall is gonna block me. It's not gonna tell me I can't go through there anyway. So I'd say that was like my only frustration.
Click on
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Click that trash.
I know that now.
Keep clicking. But like that is the most frustrating part of a puzzle is when it's not like I don't know what. I think it's more interesting when it's like, oh, I don't know how to solve this. When it's more like, I don't know what interface the game... When the game interface is the problem, which is like that bottom left corner problem, that's when I do get frustrated. And there are a couple points of that in this game where the interface can kind of get in your way of actually the mental work of solving the puzzle. That doesn't happen too often. And I've played a lot worse puzzle games. But it's not never, and it's not just me. So that's probably why it loses a couple points for me, is just occasionally the game interface kind of gets in its own way. But I think that's pretty rare, and there are online guides that don't spoil anything, where if you really do get stuck, you can look up how to escape X room, in 999, and you can look that up and just get past the one part you're kind of stuck and bang yourself on the head and go, oh, it's obvious, or how the heck was I supposed to get that? And then just keep going. And I don't think that happens too often. I think each of us sounds like got stuck somewhere on this once, basically, but not much more than once. There was not like every room a part where you had to go look something up or ask for help. So
yeah,
I 2 thumbs up, game designer guys. Yeah,
I'd say 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, why?
Because I think I liked it. I think I liked it more than Austin, but
less than me.
I think you probably like it more than I do.
That's fair. I mean, I met my wife at an escape game, so like, gotta love them a little bit.
I love escape games, but I mean, you can attest to this that I am a maniac in escape rooms.
Yeah.
Like I'm pounding on the walls. I'm like,
yeah.
I know this wall's gonna open.
They had to tell you to stop.
Yeah. Okay. Side note. So we're at this escape game, and we're just, you first get in the room, so you're just like, just look everywhere, see what you can find, and I found this wall, and I could tell, like, this wall, this is a false wall.
Yeah.
Like I could like, I just had a feeling about it. So I was like trying to push on the wall, and it kind of gave a little bit when I pushed on it. And I was like, guys, I think we just need to push this wall
really
and they come
hard.
on the yeah. So like, I'm over there, everybody else is like doing puzzles, and
You're
I'm
getting
just
ready
there,
for a
bang,
football charge.
and they just come over on like the intercom, and they're like, "It is not a false wall. Leave the wall alone." Not 10 minutes later, we pull a lever, that whole wall opens, and I turn to the camera and I shout, "You lied to me!"
We were trying to get you to not break it.
They apologized for lying when we beat the room.
That poor intern was just like, "What do I do? He's gonna break down the walls."
But he's not.
You can't contain Christian.
I was like, we're getting out of here. I don't care how, but we're gonna get out of here.
Oh my gosh, that's
Nat 1 on perception, Nat 20 on strength.
Yeah. Well, he got the perception. No, the perception was good. The wisdom throw after was the problem.
Yeah.
Fake. Yeah, he had the perception to know it's a fake wall. He didn't have the wisdom to know that there's going to be a nice lever and they don't expect you to break it down with your shoulder.
Maybe there's more than one way to crack an egg. I don't know.
Word. Yeah, you were going to crack that egg, all right.
Yeah.
Oh my word. That's why this game is point and click and not 3D, because Christian would be over there like charging into the door, like repeatedly.
Oh yeah.
I would too.
Oh my word. Oh, that's funny. All right, getting near the end here on this one. It's a bit shorter because I'm keeping cards close to the chest, kind of like this game is. I don't want to spoil too much, but I do want y'all's opinions on, I'll say, the characters and the story in general so far. We've steered away from recaps. Audience people, if you want more recap, let us know, but I think we found that it's more fun just to kind of hit our highlights. So I do want to hit highlights, lowlights. I already know low-tis is a low light for most of us, but Austin, I do want to hear you first, because I think I know, Christian, this is going to lead into the final idea. So what's your opinion overall on the characters and story?
Yeah, so I'll start with the characters. So my favorite character so far, which also leads to one of my mild frustrations with the game, is I love Snake.
Yeah.
Ever since Snake started interacting with us and we got to learn a little bit more about Snake, I'm like, this guy is cool. I want to be with this guy. I want to travel with this guy all the time. And why that I mentioned that is somewhat of a frustration to me is you don't get to travel with that guy, or at least we didn't get to travel with that guy, and he dies. And it's like, dang it, the best character is dead. I didn't get to know anything about him. That is a big shame. But that aside, there were quite a lot of good characters to hang out with. My initial suspicions were like, I think Santa is suspicious. I think Lotus is suspicious. Lotus suspicions have been clear, but I still don't like Lotus. But if anything, I think there's something far or more potentially the most sinister of the group with Santa. I don't trust that delinquent kid at this time.
Nice.
June is quite the character, to say the least. Best interaction with June, though, was the misunderstanding at the elevator.
The elevator conversation.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
I might get wet.
What?
Down there. I'd get soaking wet.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it.
Gosh, Junpei, you're so brave. It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
Yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. Eventually.
What are you trying to do to me?
Eventually you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
The elevator conversation is pretty darn good.
There's a ongoing meme in the community, which I've tried to avoid sending too many memes because again they spoil a lot of stuff. But it's at the end of May, they put her looking down at the ground saying, "I might get wet," with the caption "June is coming." That's at the end of every May. This is an M-rated game. It's an M-rated podcast, but I do get a chuckle out of that every time.
Yeah, that, and then the other meme that we discovered, was like the what do you see in this picture?
Funyaripa. Apologize to the Funyaripa.
Yeah. I chose the Funyaripa,
Yeah.
obviously. That is the correct answer.
Funyarimpa. See? I mean, this totally looks like one. And here, and here.
What the hell is a Funyarimpa?
What do you mean? What the hell is a Funyarimpa? You mean you don't know?
How the hell would I know?
How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous. Oh, say you're sorry. Apologize to the Funyarimpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman.
Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog.
Did you pick the Funyaripa, Christian, or did you miss that conversation?
I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
I picked that.
That's a pretty big meme in the 999 community as well.
Yeah, so those moments are really good. I liked Ace a lot. I didn't get to travel much with Ace. Fun fact, when you derailed us, it was a chance to go hang out with Ace. So I was like, man, I don't get to experience Ace this run. I liked Clover quite a bit. Poor Clover throughout this game so far, but
I think most of
she's
this
an
run,
interesting character.
Most of this run was mostly like June, Lotus, and Seven. Is who we spent the most time with.
Yeah,
Felt like
some of Clover when we had the one.
you get a little bit of Clover and Santa at the beginning, but yeah.
Well, it was Lotus and Santa at the beginning. Clover came in later. In the
True.
middle.
Yeah, because they in the operating table, her and Seven bicker a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You will get to see more
But,
sides of characters as you do other routes.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
so the plot is interesting. I'll save the speculations for later, but I liked the ongoing mystery until I
Okay,
got side railed.
But like, I think I could be wrong, but you seem more frustrated with the game mechanic side of it than the narrative side of it.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
toying and making it harder to be as invested into the story because I'm basically told you can't solve this until you fail a very specific way, and then you can solve this. And that ruins some of the narrative.
I don't see it as failing. I see it as getting necessary clues, but I do understand that.
If the necessary clues end in a narrative sense where it has an ending to it, where you lose by dying,
Yeah.
then it is a loss, technically. It's like you cannot get the win or the true ending until you lose a few times, which doesn't make narrative sense.
That's interesting
mind.
to me because y'all haven't played a lot of visual novels. It is a very common visual novel trope to be like, all right, go get some bad endings to get clues to unlock the real ending. Like that's
It is a bad trope that shouldn't exist.
interesting.
Maybe it will make sense when we find out more. Like maybe.
I guess I can also go ahead.
I was going into theories. Well, hold on. I'll hold on.
Okay. My last little thought about that is like on the true ending thing, I guess it can be one of my small nitpicks about even Resident Evil 2, that you have to beat multiple peoples to get the true final boss or ending kind of thing for that. It's very minor, like a minor example compared to the visual novel one, which is far more egregious. But I mean, I don't like the concepts of needing to do multiple things to unlock a true ending. I don't like that.
See, I do. So that's interesting. Wonder what pathology like drives that.
What I would like instead is like you can do a whole bunch of stuff and then you can get like maybe a fun little extra secret, but it should not be incorporated as like a true ending type of thing in my life. Like reward all of the digging and deeping, and maybe you can get some extra thing that could be fun, or some extra piece of information that's not necessarily needed for the true ending, but like maybe it like gives you a new perspective or something. Those are more acceptable.
Okay, I got a question for you real quick. Middle ground on this. If the game if you got to the true ending things kind of by stumbling into it rather than getting all the necessary clues like y'all were able to do, and the game ended with like Junpei escaping, but like he didn't solve the mystery, he just kind of lived and was like, but he never learned the truth. It was more of a neutral ending and less, because the ending ends with everyone dying violently in front of you and then Junpei being murdered by someone who he doesn't even know who it could be because everyone's supposed to be dead. Like, that's a pretty downer ending. If it was more neutral and then said, hey, go find all the clues to unlock the final real ending, would you feel better about that?
It would be slightly better. It still wouldn't be ideal. So how I would prefer these particular things is, if you manage to go down the proper quote-unquote true ending route and you finish the game, you should have, at a bare minimum, 80% of the answers at that point. If maybe like there are more things that you can understand or know if you happen to fail, but are not required to at least complete, that would be more of like my ideal situation. Like you can learn some more and it's just a little extra stuff, but when you finish the game, if you can go through the whole true ending route, you have an understanding of what's going on.
So you want a more linear experience where the game basically makes you go through the clues to get the true ending. Do I understand that right? Because like the game lets you the game lets you stumble into what is the correct series of choices kind of by accident, and you would have liked it better if the game was like, we're gonna make you see these clues before we even let you get to that true ending door.
Yeah, quite possibly, because that would feel a lot more fluid in a narrative sense.
Interesting. I wonder how
Which when I'm playing a visual novel, the narrative is what is most important to me.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's where it does kind of bump up against this, like, because the game is trying to give you the freedom to go collect clues in your own order. And maybe more freedom is not always a good thing. I've complained about open worlds a lot. So it is interesting that this game tries to give you maybe a little bit more freedom than some of those other visual novels in the order you can go get clues, at the risk of stumbling upon an ending you're not ready for yet. And it's an elegant solution to that by trying to offer more gameplay freedom has really turned you off to the narrative. So I find that interesting. Christian.
I have a question for Austin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would it be more interesting if, like, in the grand finale, it somehow incorporated, like, the deaths and the failings? Like, I'm thinking of, like, kind of like an Outer Wild situation where, like,
a time loop game
you
or
dying.
Something like that.
Yeah, if it was like a time loop, or like a reincarnation or something like that. If it was something like that and it was like part of the story, would that make you... I know you wouldn't feel better about it currently because we don't know that yet, but if you found that out when we got to the true ending, would that change how you feel? Or like, do you feel like that would give you a better like retrospective of this game and look fondly on it later?
So it would depend on how the expectations are established early on in the narrative, because I'm going to cheat. That's almost sounding very similar to the game that Doll and I have worked on in the past. this visual novel with time looping.
I mean, it was
type of
RPG
thing.
Maker, but yeah.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, the kind of concept is similar in that regard. But I feel like, at least in that, the concept of that kind of stuff about, like, you know, losing is part of it, and it's like, it still is a still coherent narrative that keeps going from that point, but it's established very early on.
We established
This game established a tone as a gritty, realist puzzle that you're going, and only at the very, very end, after you spent all this time, does that kind of, like, if you went the wrong way, or even if you went the right way, that it says, oh, it's one of these kind of games.
Well,
and at that point, it ruins what the game has, like, set as expectations in my mind for a narrative.
Yeah, because in our game, we do reveal that there's a time loop element after your first failure, but your first failure is mandatory, because ours doesn't really have branching paths, and it also comes, on average, about 2.5 hours. I mean, you know, gameplay varied, but it was
or
about...
less if you're fast.
Yeah, no, you could do it in 30 minutes, but, like, even the first time fumbling through was usually a little over 2 hours. Whereas, to get to your first ending in this was closer to 6, I think, right? 6 or 7 hours? It was probably double or triple, and
6 to 8.
And you beat it, and it didn't narratively give you any indication that there's a time travel story. Like, mechanically, you're going back and playing again, but there's been nothing in the narrative so far that has told you. Junpei hasn't said, like, oh, I have weird memories of dying, like, or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, so that, I'm not saying if...
Yeah, the game frames it like it's like, oh, you accidentally picked the wrong one, you missed the right one, go back and try again. That's how it frames it, which is kind of upsetting, because then when it frames it like that on a fail, but then it also frames it like, oh, if we do it the right way, oh, can't do that either. It's like, that's a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
So, if the game... I mean, it would fundamentally change what it is, but at least with this specific... It might create other problems, like with your enjoyment of the gritty realism, but if the game, at this death, started him with waking up and going, oh, I had a weird dream that I got killed in front of a submarine, I guess that was just a dream, and, like, hinted to you that there was, like, a time loop element, that would create other problems from you, I'm hearing, but might help with the feeling of not really getting a bad end, like, narratively.
Yeah, because, I mean, it would change how I would perceive the story, because then at least it's fully connected properly to the point where, like, okay, well, there is some weird stuff going on that is connecting that failure, the fact that the memories are still there, so there was a built-in narrative reason for that particular failure that you can build off of, and the character is aware and tries to build off of. It adds more to the story. I would prefer more of a gritty realism. I think it's just more fun, but it would still be probably a high-ranking story if it maintained some additional interest things. It would just kind of almost change genres in my head, but could still be in fun.
I'm really interested to see, because the game does try and address this at a certain point, and I'm really interested to see how you feel about its addressing of this. I'm not gonna say how or why.
That's going to be a very interesting moment.
The game does try and address somewhat narratively, like, why it wouldn't let you go down the good ending until certain other events have happened, and I'm curious to see if
the Ex Machina moment.
I'm curious to see if you go, oh, okay, neat. Or if you're like, that's some bullshit.
I want to put money that I'm going to say that's some bullshit.
Probably.
But we'll see.
Probably. Oh, well. There's a whole series after this, but yeah. Christian, we did kind of jump around a little bit because we were talking about that, but what is your opinion on, like, the characters and narrative?
I think the narrative is great. I think it's a very interesting story. I'll be honest, I don't trust anybody.
No what?
I don't even... No.
Junpei?
I don't trust anybody.
Don't even trust yourself.
I don't even trust myself.
No one.
What
about the dead characters?
I still don't trust that they're dead, honestly. Like...
Yes, he's all over the room, blown into pieces. He could be alive.
Well, so, like, there was no DNA test. Could have been a pig. there could have been a pig on
wait
the
a
other
minute.
side of the room
Wait
that
a
they
minute.
blew up, and he snuck off, and
There's-
he's really Zero.
I know at least when they go to, I believe you look at like Snake's corpse at a certain point.
Yeah,
don't you?
they firmly identify that as Snake's corpse. He's not just nothing but pieces. He is like pieces, large chunks of him still remain to where you can identify.
I mean, they at
that
least
is
identify that's a
close.
human corpse. I mean, and there's not good reason to believe it's not Snake, but like he is so messed
They said
up.
without a doubt.
I mean, but
Clone.
who
All of
I'm like, I'm trying to see if there's any way I can spin this. It's at very least a human corpse. I mean, it's Snake. We know it's Snake, but like, his face was technically messed up. It's just him in his outfit. But yeah, you technically
Maybe there were two snakes.
he was so blown up you couldn't see his face technically. But like, it was very clearly a body. They go out of their way to be like, here's the rib cage. There are two arms and two legs and a head, and it's been blown up, and it's not pretty.
I don't trust anybody, and that stems to, I know it's the next segment, but I'm gonna have a lot of theories for you guys.
Jump. You know what? I'll say real quick. I liked the characters. I don't want to tell you who I like or dislike because I've beaten it before. But I'll say this: at this point, relatively in the narrative, I was a firm Snake lover as well. I really was like, "Oh, Snake's the best." I'm not gonna say if that held true as the game went on, but I was a big fan of Snake. I like June. Like, she's ditzy and kind of dumb, but she's like, I have to believe that she's a little bit teasing Junpei, right? I think it's a little bit of a, like, I don't mean an act in like a Machiavellian evil sense, but like she's flirting with him, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so pretty strongly, yeah. And she comes out a little strong. I don't think I'd like her as a person in real life, but I think she's a very fun character. Lotus, God love her.
Only he can.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
oh yeah.
just Lotus literally ever since the kitchen,
Yeah.
like that fully was like, okay, I do not like you. I do not care what happens to you. Because like she literally, the entire rest of the crew is locked in the freezer, borderline freezing to death. They had to create a makeshift bomb to get out, and she's just laying on the counter, just like, oh, well, I just figured y'all would get out eventually, so I figured I'd take a rest. And I'm like, really? Come on, like,
I think my biggest problem with her is maybe this counts as spoilers, but I'm just gonna say it. There never becomes a good narrative reason for her to dress like a whore. Like, and we've already learned most of her backstory at this point. There's just not a good reason. I'm fine with like a seductress character who's trying to like get attention or distract or seduce someone dressing like a hooker, right? Like, that makes sense narratively. A great example is like, I don't think you put, but Eva from Metal Gear Solid 3, right? She's actively trying to seduce Snake. So her running around with her tits out makes sense in the story. That's what she's trying to do. And so, but like, this is like a driven woman who just wants to like investigate and find out what happened to her daughters. And is like, I don't think they've talked about this, and I don't think it's a big spoiler, but like her day job is coding. It's not like she's a pole dancer to pay the bills. Like, her day job is coding, and her hobbies are entirely like investigate and find out what happened to her daughters. But she just dresses like a stripper because, like, if you get deep into the lore, it's even hinted that maybe her kids were the product of like assault. Like, this is not a person who would make sense as an exhibitionist in any way, shape, or form, but she's still dressed like that, and it really frustrates me because it does not make sense for the character at all. There's my soapbox on that one, but she could be an interesting character, because the idea that she has some idea of, like, this has happened before, why have you dragged me into this, and her being really hostile because she doesn't know who's in on it or not, is an interesting idea, but it's hard to take any of those elements seriously when her two personalities are bouncing in your face the entire game. Anyway, that's my character's thing. I'd like to hear your tinfoil hat theories now that I can get off my soapbox.
Okay. Can I please start?
Yeah.
Okay. So to address the snake thing, there could be clones.
Wow, straight to clones. Where are you getting clones from? Like, that's a big jump. Where did that come from? Has there been anything in the game that's hinted at clones?
Maybe. Well, so you said that they make a big point of making sure that we know, okay, this is Snake. Is it though?
Almost like it's objective reality.
Okay.
But what is your truth? Let's go.
So there could be clones. Could be. I mean, there's a lot of paranormal, like, hooji-wooji going on.
That, okay, as you're talking about this, that's important for people to know, and I do think it's fun. This game has an undercurrent, like Austin said, of grittiness, but people keep talking about, like, weird pseudoscience, like, constantly. They're like, what if there's this ice that doesn't freeze at normal temperatures? What if they talk a lot about, I think, the morphogenetic field. I think that comes up a couple times, basically, where they're like, a lot of people see a thing and it, like, gets uploaded to the human unconscious, and then it's just, like, in the people's background or whatever. But what does that have to do with cloning?
Clone cloud. It's in the clone cloud.
What do you mean? What's in the clone cloud?
That's how we send it all to the clone cloud. And it goes to the clones, and it goes to the non-clones. It goes to everybody. So that's one theory. That's one tinfoil hat. Second one. Aliens.
Okay, where are the aliens coming from?
So, here's the whole backstory. These aliens, they found something about the Titanic. The aliens came down to Earth and they went under the water and they found the Titanic. They were like, "Hey, this is cool. We're gonna make this. We're gonna do it again, and we're gonna create this experiment so that we can understand humans. It's gonna be great." It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best experiment you've ever seen. And so the aliens set all this up, and they just recreated the Titanic. They didn't know any better. Other theory. I got plenty of them. Hold on, I got 999 of them.
No.
So I think there's. I do think there is probably some kind of a big organization. I don't think that it's just Zero that's handling all this.
Christian, have you seen the chat?
I have not.
This is Austin. It's just, I'm gonna have to put it in the video, but Austin is just putting this as a reaction. It's just cute things.
Oh my word, that's hilarious.
Oh, please continue your theories. He's just been posting that in the chat, so I was losing it.
So, another theory that this theory I think is a little more grounded. I think it has more merit to it.
Okay.
I think that Zero's not just one guy. This is some kind of a large organization putting all of this Nonary Game on. I do not think they're actually in a boat. I think this is a stage scenario, and that's why the water has only reached a certain level and stopped.
Okay.
So I think it's more likely that instead of on a boat on the water, they may be in a giant pool or something. It's some kind of a controlled simulation.
Okay.
I'm not sure how the submarine fits into that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask. There's the sub. So
It could just be a red herring.
I got a couple questions from things that were brought up in the game that I haven't heard either of y'all talk about that I'd love your theories on. Thing one is, how does this tie into, like, the kids? Because we kind of found that out at the end. Like, remember, there were those kids that went missing that Seven was looking for, and that Lotus's kids were some of, and they were doing weird tests. How's that related to this? Any ideas?
I have a couple, but if Austin has one, I was going to let him go first because I'm crazy.
The question one more time.
I was asking, in all our theories, we haven't talked much about the Lotus's missing kids and the other missing kids. How does that tie into what's going on here? Or is there any, like, what's going on with that?
My tin hat theory for that one, because my original tin hat theory was Santa is Zero. If it had to be a member of the group, it was going to be Santa.
Okay.
He met how they described what Zero looked like at the beginning of the game could match what Santa's physical description is. The other answer is Santa, June, and Junpei are the same age that the kids were at that time. So any one of those experimented kids could also be Zero.
Okay.
Himself. They could have been doing experiments on these kids, and then the successful experiment produced Zero. Potentially is my current tinfoil hat theory.
Okay.
I have that theory as well.
And then how does that tie... So, like, what do you think Zero's after in this game?
I haven't thought about that one.
Okay.
I mean,
like,
if there are ties to all the people here, there could be, like, a fabricated things, like all of these other relations or people who tried to interfere with the experiment to create blah blah this thing or to interfere with your goals. We're gonna have you mess them up or something. I don't know. I don't have a good motive at the moment.
Y'all don't have.
That's me thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
That's 10 seconds of thought.
Yeah.
Maybe Zero's trying to make more people like him.
Okay. So, like, you think Zero got, like, what, superpowers or something from this and wants more superpowered people?
Well, I mean, we don't know exactly what the 16 kids went through, so it's possible that the 16 kids went through a form of the Nonary game. And it's possible that Zero has just recreated what he was forced to go through, and he was...
like trauma, not like superpowers, like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like trauma-induced paranormal activity kind of a thing.
The winner becomes the successor.
Yeah, something like that. Or another theory... Other theory is that Zero wasn't one of the children, but is trying to recreate... But kind of the same thing. Zero wasn't one of the children, but is still trying to duplicate what happened to the children with these adults to see if they get the same results.
So,
because like you said, at least 3 of the people are roughly the same age that the children were. So perhaps, because it's all about like sending signals out into the space and other people on the other side of the world get it.
On it. Okay.
Perhaps because at least 3 of the people are the same age, he's trying to see if any of the puzzles that the 16 kids were able to accomplish within a certain time or whatever Junpei, June, and Santa are able to do, because maybe they got the brainwaves by being the same age. I don't know. That's one theory.
Okay. So we've noted certain characters
Snake also may not be blind.
Okay, why? Just cause?
Too easy.
Too easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've noted that
Lotus may be a guy. There we go. There's my Christian era theory.
Oh man. But I mean, we've noticed, like, we have pretty good confirmation that, like, Lotus, 7 are, like, firmly connected. Lotus and 7 were connected to the experiments of the past through one way. We know that some other characters have connection, like June and Junpei knew each other in childhood, right? Any other theory? Do you think everyone's connected at this point somehow? What do you think they're connected to? Or do you think there's some red herrings? Like, what the heck was the ninth man's deal? He just died instantly. Are there any other connections you have guesses for? Did I forget any character connections that have been revealed so far?
Clover and Snake are
okay.
siblings.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that had been said already. Yeah. So, they're siblings.
Did we mention Seven as a police officer?
And was hunting after Lotus's kids.
Yeah. I don't know any connection with Ace yet. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we've got much
We
info
didn't get to
on
spend time with him.
Ace. We don't really have a lot on Santa, I don't feel like.
No, not really.
Santa
Even though I spent a lot of
is
time
like
with him, which is
a-
why he's suspicious.
He's like a financial guy, right? Something like that.
I think they said he did something about the stock market.
Yeah, something like
Which is weird because he's young.
briefly, but that's not much of a
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
I mean, his connection could just be being the same age as the 16 kids.
Okay.
Which is also our character's connection.
Exactly.
Well, and he knows June,
I think,
which is weird.
and you know that, yeah. I feel Ace is giving some kind of like investigator vibes to me. Like, I feel like he is either like ex-military, or he has some kind of training.
All right.
He has too much of a presence about him to just be like a random civilian. Maybe he is, and he just has a good vibe to him. But I feel like he has something. He either. Plus, he's got like that big trench coat. Like, no normal person is dressing like that. Like, he's got some kind of a past. So I don't know if maybe he was also investigating, but from a different side. Maybe he was a part of the organization that kidnapped the kids, but he like reverted or like left the organization. I think who else is there? Are we missing somebody?
The ninth man, but he just
Building
dies.
off of what Christian just said,
Uh-huh.
what if the one of the potential wonky connection things to be like Ace is the guy who was there and then left and is trying to investigate to stop them, and the ninth man was also a part of it, but didn't want to leave, and now maybe he messed up something and now he's being punished, and they would know each other. But we never confirmed that because the ninth man died right away.
Yeah. I mean, the ninth man, I don't remember what he said, like, after he went through the door, but he was like, no, he said, like, you promised or something like that.
He tricked me, I think is what he says.
Yeah, so
He said he tricked me.
So either somebody that he spoke with on our side had a conversation and convinced him that this was a good idea, or he had some kind of an additional interaction with Zero. Maybe he got an extra note like Snake did, or something. I don't know. He also, like, nobody else had any personal belongings with him, but he had a knife with him. Where did the knife come from? Right? I mean,
that's a good
either
point.
he had a connection or Zero like gave him the knife intentionally, knowing that he was going to be able to get out, something like that.
That is weird that he had that knife. No one else.
We never recovered the knife.
Yeah.
We were all stabbed to death at the end.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Is it the same knife?
That gets into
most likely.
That gets into a question I had, which is who killed us at the end of the sub ending, because the game goes out of its way to show a whole lot of corpses, right? We even check, who is it, Lotus's pulse or something? We don't check everyone's pulse, but we even check Lotus's pulse, I think.
No, we check, no, not Lotus's pulse, because Lotus was with us when we checked the pulse. It was
June.
I think we checked Clover's.
Clover's pulse. We checked Clover's pulse. No, Lotus was missing a bracelet. That was what was going on with her.
Yeah, that was after the encounter with June.
Which does...
And one of my other irritations is June doesn't tell us jack as she's dying.
okay,
She didn't say who did it, or watch out, there is someone here. She's just like, oh, Junpei. Oh, I wish we could have had time. Not like, hey, someone's gonna stab you, dude.
I felt the exact same way. I was I was like, June, you got to give me something. Like, seriously. You can't go through all of this and not give me anything.
I mean, what if she was stabbed in the back like you were?
Well,
She doesn't even mention anything, though.
Yeah, she didn't even mention, like, I've been stabbed. Like,
well, she
I know that we can tell that she's been stabbed, but, like, she doesn't
Or like,
give us any
hey,
information.
this person might be here, or any kind of warning or anything. Just
so
nothing.
Yeah.
Or even, like, she probably would have witnessed the other people being stabbed.
So,
And then...
my question is...
Or, like, after being stabbed, see the person walk away.
So my question is, who did it? Do y'all think? Because like they make a point. It's pretty based on face value. It's pretty hard to say any of our people did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two things. Or I have three possible routes that could go. One, Zero stabbed everybody.
Okay.
Two,
and Zero
building off of
wait, and for one, you're insinuating Zero isn't a part of the main cast. Zero is a separate.
Correct.
Character. Okay.
Yes. Two, going off of something that Christian said, in case there was somebody that we couldn't verify is actually dead, the ninth guy. Could be the ninth guy if he didn't actually die.
I mean,
and
you
this whole
walk
thing
in and
was
see
supposed
that
to swap
body
him out.
pretty quick after the explosion.
We look at it. We don't go into. We didn't pick that door to go in and actually investigate that area.
No, you do.
That was a different option.
No, but they open it and you all look at it like from.
We look at it, sure, but I mean, it's possible if Christian's idea has merit on that. Then that would I would have more merit to the ninth man being actually alive than Snake being actually alive. I think Snake is firmly dead, for sure. Maybe the ninth man made it, or option 3. It wasn't Zero. It wasn't the ninth man. It was some other guy working with Zero that is involved.
Okay.
I don't think it was Zero.
Okay.
He would not set up this whole Nonary game
just
to
stab
not
everyone
let us even
randomly.
see. Yeah. Like, I don't think he was so particular about the rules and everything. I don't see him just going on a unaliving spree at the end.
Don't say
like,
alive. We're all adults here.
Well, the one thing that I will kind of give credit to, maybe because B0, is like, there's no way that submarine. It wasn't behind a 9 door, so that submarine wasn't the way out. It could have been to the point where the game is pretty much over. They've screwed up too bad. They're not going to make it. I'm just going to clean up and reset. Type of ideal why Zero would probably stab him. Because, I mean, they didn't, like, stab him right before they got out. It wasn't in a position for that. You would need to make sure you have enough people to open the 9th door, and it's possible that how the outcome was going, that was no longer possible, so he was just cleaning up. It's like, oh, my test subject screwed up so bad. Time to start again. That could be a reasoning why it could have been Zero. But I see your point as well.
Maybe the 9th door was inside the submarine. Or maybe you have to take the submarine to get to the 9th door.
That would be weird, but...
It'd be weird, but... Zero's
well,
all right.
Considering the fact, this is meta a little bit, that we went along the true ending, which wasn't taking us to the submarine as the way to get out, I highly suspect that the 9th door has nothing to do with the submarine.
Yeah, but I still don't think Zero...
That could have been his way in. That could have been how Zero entered, or how he brought us in.
Yeah, but, like...
But Christian doesn't think it's a real boat.
It could also just be a decoy or a fake out.
Yeah, I just don't
thinks
feel like Zero would do that.
Christian thinks they put a fake submarine in this fake boat to screw with 9 people.
I mean, but how much would that screw you up though? Like, you hop in this submarine and you're like, okay, great, we're gonna go. You turn it on and nothing happens, and then you look and you're just in a box, dude. Like, so I don't think it was Zero. I think there's some merit to 9, especially because he was the one that had the knife and he took the knife with him. I'm trying to think back through everybody else. I mean, like we said, we didn't get everybody's pulse.
The 2 people we have decent reason that we got more, I shouldn't say decent reason, that we did extra evidence on, is that Zero said bracelets only come off after someone dies. Lotus's bracelet came off, so there's reason to believe she's actually dead. I mean, there's reason to believe they're all actually dead, but we held June in our arms, so there's reason to believe she was actually bleeding out. and then we checked the pulse of Clover. So, I mean, maybe I don't know. Like, yeah.
It brings a really weird question, because, like, yeah, it comes off when you're dead. We know Lotus is dead. The other people are likely dead. Why would a person, like the one who stabbed us, only take Lotus's bracelet for something?
That is an interesting
I got
question, isn't it?
I think I got it.
Oh?
You want me to go for it?
Go for it.
What was her number?
Hey.
She
That's
was
what
number
Lotus-
8. It was Ace.
You think it was
You know what
Ace?
he could have stabbed us with? He probably still had that needle.
Okay.
No, we're clearly dead. The picture showed the guy with a knife. We were killed. It wasn't me.
Well, okay. Well, still,
He was in the
it could
room
have
with
been
the
Ace.
body of the guy who had the knife. He could be the one
Why
who took the
Ace?
knife.
Didn't you just say Ace was like the guy trying to redeem the company or something like that?
That's a separate theory. all of these theories are separate pocket
Okay.
theories.
Okay.
I'm just
Why
trying to
Ace?
cover all my bases. 8 plus 1,
You
9.
You need 3 bracelets,
You
don't you? Or am I remembering the rules wrong? I thought you needed 3 to 5 bracelets, right?
Yes,
you
you
need-
do.
so. Let's see. Does Zero have a bracelet?
I believe you have to have 3 to 5 bracelets to get through.
Maybe he hadn't thought that far through. He could have been Ace.
Okay, so your theory is the serial killer at the
Ace
end
and
of
the ninth man together.
you think the 9th man's alive, teamed up with Ace,
No, I'm just saying that's the only other way you can get the
killed
numbers to work out.
Lotus.
That's a good point. Did
would
we
have to
ever
be
recover
1,
the 9th
9,
man's
and
bracelet?
I mean,
We don't
didn't
know.
go through that.
We
door.
didn't go in the room.
Ace.
Nobody
Ace went
mentioned they
through
had
that
the
door.
bracelet. Multiple other people went through that door too, though. Seven didn't mention anything like that. He went through the door. Clover and Snake went through that. They didn't mention it.
Well, Snake wouldn't have. If Snake's really blind, he
Well, I
wouldn't.
know
have
Snake
mentioned it.
wouldn't, but I would imagine Clover would tell us. Seven likely would tell us. Seven's a cop.
He didn't
But I mean,
remember
when-
that until
he
5
would
minutes
probably-
ago, but yeah.
When, at least how it's gone for Junpei and whatever group Junpei's with, like, you go into the main room and then you kind of all separate and go your own separate ways. So, like, it's possible that they all separated and Ace snatched up bracelet number 9, or
Okay.
here we go. He drugged himself so that he could take a nap. He didn't. He used that time. He was the only one there. Snuck back, got 9's bracelet.
Okay.
I have a question now.
Yeah.
What was the number door that Snake died behind?
I genuinely
3.
don't. Okay, I'm sure you're right.
Was it 3? What number was Snake?
2?
2.
Snake
2?
Eyes. That's what the 2 was.
Okay, no, if it was 3, it wouldn't work. Because I was thinking, what if Ace was involved with killing Snake and he used the number 9's... would it work?
9 plus
it would
1.
work.
9 plus 1 and 2.
Yeah, okay, that could open door 3 if it
Ten-
was door 3. A
So
1,
that's
9,
it.
and a 2.
Ace has 9's bracelet.
So you think Ace and the 9th man, or Ace and the 9th man's bracelet? Are the
Yes.
answer. Okay.
And then he scooped up Lotus's
It
bracelet.
would fit
So
the
now
math.
either
Okay,
Ace or
I'd like to
Ace
point out
and
we
9.
saw Ace's corpse.
we saw a bloody Ace.
Sure.
We don't know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we saw everybody
Yeah.
dead, technically. So, unless he was faking death, which is, like, the reason why I'm not, like, this all seems like really interesting math to go off of. But one of the things that I think breaks it, unless it's just a dumb narrative decision, and I think this will hurt the game story, is I cannot see a world where Ace was faking in that moment and June would not tell us. I cannot see a world where that was possible. Unless she is so abysmally stupid. And the story really doesn't want you to know that yet. And it's just trying to make sure you can't know by having her be stupid. That could be the only way.
You're like, if it was Ace,
and that would hurt the game score.
June would have led with "Watch out for Ace," is what you're feeling like, right?
I think there should have been something involved.
Unless if Ace was telepathically telling her to think about going out on
that would lower the score so bad. Like if it became that Ace was the thing and all the thing, and this ending was like that, could only hurt the game for me. Because I think that is a terrible way to try to cover that up. Okay. But I like a lot of our thought reasoning.
Okay.
It makes sense until our ending.
It's
in my mind.
Interesting. So I guess
maybe that's why it's a bad ending.
Some interesting things to
because it's badly written.
I'm very interested to see how these theories pay off as we go, because the next time we get to it, we're gonna have seen the true ending. So we'll have a full discussion on what theories were right, if any. Oh yeah, final question, because we've touched on this, but this is worth asking before we go off. Do y'all have any theories on? We've kind of talked about the motivation of Zero, but who Zero is, if Zero is any of the characters we've seen, or is Zero a separate entity, or multiple people, or what's your Zero thought, Austin?
I mean, if it had to be somebody in the group, which I don't believe anymore, it would have been Santa.
Okay.
At this point, it's one of the earlier kidnapped kids.
Okay.
That's my current thought.
Okay. Who's been like one of Lotus's kids or something like that?
I don't think it's Lotus's kids.
Okay.
I think it's a kid that's not one of Lotus's.
You said it, but what if Santa was one of those kids that was kidnapped? Because you said it can't be him because it's got to be one of those. Didn't Christian mention he was the right age?
Well, I mean, he is the right age, so are we. I doubt we weren't part of that kidnap bunch, unless we don't remember. But I mean, if that's the case, I still don't think that it's any of the party.
Okay.
Even if we were involved, it was probably a different kid.
Okay, so your answer is, if you have to pick someone in the party, Santa, but probably not someone in the party.
Yeah.
Okay. Christian?
I think that Zero is, even though Zero may be an individual, is part of a much larger organization.
Okay.
And I'm starting to wonder if Ace is also an active member in the organization and for whatever reason got thrown in to this experiment.
So you think Zero is 100%, like, it is wrong to conceptualize Zero as a person at all? Like, maybe the person that kidnapped you is, like, a part of Zero, and the person on the loudspeakers is a different person, and...
Well, I still think... I think the loudspeakers, I still think that's a recording.
Sure.
I think that there may be multiple Zeros.
Okay. Then who do you think is a Zero in our party, if anyone?
In our party, I think Ace may be a Zero.
Okay.
But I also think everyone else could be too.
So our answers are no one or Santa, and Christian's is Ace or everyone. just to narrow it down a little bit.
Or 1 to all of the 16 kids.
Which is pretty similar to Austin's theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like we have moments like we overlap and agree on things, and then we just have complete off
Christian
the deep ends on
just
top
wouldn't
of
stop
it.
talking about aliens and hasn't mentioned them once in this podcast. I've been very disappointed.
Well, I don't think you heard me just now. I said or Zero is Glorgon.
I didn't
the
hear
alien.
you say that. Okay. I'm genuinely excited to see which of your theories you get right and which, like, and if you're frustrated or excited about it. If you're like, I guessed that part, or if you're like, that's the stupidest thing, or could not have possibly predicted that. What are these authors smoking? Dolan, why did you subject us to this? So,
well, I just have one other thing I want to say about my theories.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, at least from the like still shot that we get and the description we get of when people are taken, this guy, he's Zero, or the person that kidnapped these people, is not a big dude.
Yeah, you could pretty
Seven.
firmly rule out Seven and like Lotus.
But the reason I don't think it's just one person that did the kidnapping is because it would take a crew of at least 3 guys
To lift 7?
to lift 7. So and especially to lift 7 quickly, because I assume that he didn't slowly drag 7 down a hallway and throw him in a car, because that would have been seen and he would have got caught. So I think just like in the like still shot of them getting of 7 retelling the story, and there was like a crew loading the kids onto the boat.
Yeah.
I think a crew, maybe a small crew, there was more than one person involved in the kidnapping.
Okay.
I fully think that.
All right.
Just with
I think Zero has henchmen.
that could be it.
It's a lot to set up for one person. Whether this is actually the Titanic or a virtual reality or whatever you were saying. That's a lot.
Because they were mentioning that this boat was like purchased by like some rich person. So it's
Yeah.
like person with a lot of money. Santa also seems like he comes from money.
Oh yeah. Didn't we mention he did stocks or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that just also goes in. He's the right size. He could be like, the finance guy or like the main ringleader by it. And with all of his money, he got the boat, he got all these people. Probably a lot more to it than that, but I could at least check the boxes that Santa could be a candidate.
That's fair.
All right. Well, I am genuinely loving these theories. I am here living for this, so I'm so excited. I hope when you get to the end, even if it's not exactly what you think, you had fun at least theorizing.
I always have fun theorizing.
We'll
We know.
get to the end of this wild ride and see how it goes. But yeah,
Indeed.
I think that's all I got. So I mean, I'm ready to sign off if you guys are.
I am too.
All right.
I think so.
Well, I've been Dolan Malma.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Glorgon.
Signing off. See you guys at the finale. Bye. Nice. Glorgon for the win. Okay. No!